Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode on A Better World with Adrienne. I am so grateful and excited to be here. I'm excited to record today and to drop into this timeless and timely episode. So, today I'm going to be teaching channeling all on Yeshuah, all about royal magi's, all about the angelic coding that you have, that I have, that's actually coming down in showers and showers and showers of brilliance onto our planet right now. So I just completed one of the most potent solstice, not one of, the most potent and important solstice fast of this lifetime for myself so far. And I'm really excited to share the downloads and the insights and just go really deep into magic with you today. This transcends all religion. We are in the ancient codes. We are speaking about ascended masters. So if you're someone who has, maybe there have been painful experiences for you in religion that have impacted your relationship with the divine, with Creator, with even the story of Christmas, Hanukkah, literally any of that stuff. I really invite you, if you love this podcast, if you love the frequency, if you're listening to this, it's for a divine purpose. You got guided here, and there's something for you in this episode. So I invite you to keep an open mind, keep listening if you feel the call, and know that there is deep healing available for you in this episode, downloads and activation and energetic upgrade that literally transcends all dogma and chaos and dark forces that is organized religion. So, just want to get that on the table. Before I dive into today's episode, I want to share a announcement and a reminder and an invitation. I am enrolling my high proximity one-on-one clients for 2026. This is for you if you are a very ambitious, advanced, rare, elite, powerful soul. You're already successful and you want to stack on top of that success and advance your soul mission in 2026. This is the most high proximity, luxurious level of mentorship and support that I offer within this movement. This is where you and I ride one on one, and I'm your personal astrologer, your personal shaman, your personal breathwork facilitator, your personal high performance coach. You can have daily access to me for in the moment transformation and up levels, in person, one on one retreats around the globe. Like it really is an elite space, and it's for the fully committed. So if you are this fully committed, audacious, wild, magical soul, and you know in your heart that 2026 is destined to be an immense, great year, and you want to position yourself to stay in the zone despite all circumstances, despite any odds, despite any obstacles that come up on your path, because let's be real, the obstacles, they come up when you go all in. That is what mentorship is for. Mentorship is like the insurance policy on your dreams coming true, because you will stay in the zone and you will have support and mentorship and guidance from the divine and from someone who's done this with myself and hundreds of people before. So if this is you, go to the link in the show notes and apply. I am enrolling just a handful of souls to go deep in this one-on-one Lux mentorship in 2026. There are 2 tiers available, and I'm really, really excited. So go apply in the show notes. If this is you, literally just pause this episode, go apply through the link in the show notes, and then come back after you've submitted your application, and we will dive into the Yeshuah codes together. So that is the announcement. I could not be more excited and honored and grateful. let's drop into today's transmission. No matter where you are, what you're doing, be here now. I'm calling forward all healed ancestors and guides to purify and protect this space. We have a red rose and a white lily on the altar, representing the divine feminine and masculine synergy of Mary Magdalene and Yeshuah. I have rose quartz crystal in my hand representing unconditional love, acknowledging that a new surge and blast and frequency of unconditional love is rushing in on our planet for you, for me, for all of us to receive and to transmit and circulate to support the ascension of love and light and harmony and bliss and abundance and freedom on our planet. So feel this message in your body. And we're going to take a deep breath together to fuse our energies, acknowledging the power of technology to connect us, acknowledging the power of technology and the rapid advancements as an asset to advance our mission, our goals, our dreams. Inhale through your nose. Feel a white light cover your whole entire body and exhale out the mouth. Fully land in the space and let's drop in. So I just finished my solstice fast. And like I said in the intro, this is a timeless and a timely episode. Timeless because every single day, all day, you can tap into the power of Yeshuah. You can tap into the power of the royal Magis, which, by the way, you are here to be a royal Magi. Spoiler alert. The question is, have you claimed it? Have you mastered the skill sets? Have you done the deep spiritual alchemy and work to live that reality? You can tap into your angel coding and angels and the angel frequency and the ascended masters every day, all day. So any day that you press play on this episode, any day that you are receiving this, whether you are receiving it the day that it drops, which will be December 24th, 2025, which is also Christmas Eve for those that celebrate. This is right on time. It's right on time for you. And I'm coming out of the most potent solstice fast of my life. So every single solstice and equinox, I do a very extreme fast. And, if you listen to my episode I posted before this about trusting the insane inner pull, I talked about how all successful people I know, and we're going to talk about Yeshuah, who was extremely successful, operate in extremes. It's never maybe. It's never half-ass. It's never middle road. It's never moderation. Moderation creates mediocrity, creates average. Okay, you're not here to be average. You're here to be amazing. You're here to be extraordinary. I don't care where you come from. I don't care your background. I don't care your current circumstance. You are here to live your spiritual royalty, which means extreme. Extreme boundaries, extreme hygiene, extreme energy mastery, extreme mindsets, extreme moves, just extreme. Playing and living in extremes. So I do an extreme fast. It's a digital detox fast, and I fast from eating food. I fast from input, so I don't listen to music. I don't listen to podcasts. I don't consume anything. I am in silence. And it's a minimum 3 days. By the way, I am not a medical expert. However, I am a shaman and I'm a holy habits master expert. I've helped so many people, including myself, heal themselves naturally with holy habits, with food, nutrition, Exercise. Have I written workouts for my clients based on their astrology? Abso-fucking-lutely, because that stuff is real and it matters. And are there holy habits that work for everyone? Yes. Like one thing is consistency. Consistency transcends astrology, transcends human design. Consistency is just a basic pillar of success because it means you're unconditional in your embodiment. Otherwise, you're conditional. If you're not consistent, you're conditional. You're like, oh, I'll only do this if I feel good, if I feel like it, if A, B, C, D, E. And it's like, no, unconditional means consistency. Okay. And there's a lot of nuance to that once you get past that threshold. Um, I'm an experienced faster, so I've been doing water only fasts 4 times a year for at least 5 years now. And it started out as just a deeply, honestly, I don't even remember what the first one was about. I know that the first time I ever heard someone talk about intermittent fasting, it was on the Tim Ferriss podcast. Shout out to the OG. Um, and I remember them talking about it, and it's just like you have time, you have a restricted eating window, right? So a lot of people will have like, hey, I'm only eating during this 12-hour window every day or 8-hour window every day. And I realized when I received that, I was like, oh, I already do this intuitively. Like intuitively, I was art, and if you look at my human design, it's fabulous for my human design. I was intuitively already doing like a 6-hour eating window each day because that's just how my body felt really, really good. Um, and I was gigging at night, playing gigs and teaching is during my classical music career. And so I would head out to teach and gig at like 3 or 4. And so I wouldn't eat past 3 or 4. And then, when you get home, I didn't want to eat a bunch of food right before I went to bed. So then I would just be fasted. And I was like, oh, I just naturally do intermittent fasting. So I can't tell you when the first fast was, to be honest, but I just know I felt a deep call in my soul to go into fasting from a spiritual lens. So it was like, did I want to fast? Because it resets my body and my mitochondria and it goes to autophagy and it's just a total natural cleaning out process of the body. Yes, there are physical and spiritual reasons, benefits, and important elements that you can't get any other way that come with fasting. And so I did a 5-day water only fast. And when I say water only, obviously it's a hydration game. And I say the word obviously. I've learned that this stuff is not obvious and it's not common practice and it's not taught. So it's obvious to me because I've been doing it for so long and I have mastery and reps with it. Because if you do 4 every year for 5 years, that means I've done 23-day fasts at least. So that's pretty significant, I would say. Um, I do water, coffee, tea. Um, if I'm start having any kind of symptoms of dehydration, I will do some bone broth. This was a water fast, and I the last one I did, I got the benefits. Talk about bending time and being a magi. I got the benefits of a 7-day fast of what I used to do like 3 years ago in a 3-day fast. And then my body was like, girl, you gotta eat. We bent time here. And so this time I did a 5-day fast, like for real, 5 literal 3D days. However, I was getting from my guides and my angels, like, you just created the results of a 10-day fast in 5 days. And my body was like starting to show some symptoms. And I was actually getting really interesting guidance of like, I need to be eating oranges, kiwi, and pomegranate because the electric voltage coming in on our planet right now is so extreme. I just need those frequencies in my body. And it's like returning to the mermaid diet, returning to an electric diet, returning to an ancient code anti-inflammation diet. And I've got to say, I feel so good. I feel so clear. I just broke fast today, and the amount of codes that came through is unmatched. Like, and this is why I feel really inspired to speak on Yeshua in today's podcast, because when I tell you, so this is in relation to the Capricorn solstice, which happens in December every year. It's the winter solstice if you're in the north, it's the summer solstice if you're in the south, but it's very associated around the time of Christmas and Hanukkah and all of these holidays. A lot of them have to do with Yeshua. And I was just sitting in meditation. By the way, my body has clicked into a whole different time zone. I've been getting up at like 3:30 or 4 and going to bed at like 8 p.m. and I feel so good. And I think it's just because, the darkness. However, like there is something so intimate and powerful about a dark, early, quiet morning with you and spirit, you and creator. There's no distractions. No one else is awake. I'm up with my coffee and writing and meditating and chanting. And it's like I can have a whole 3 hour day before the sun even comes up, right? And so I was sitting there in meditation and I just started crying. Literally started bawling because I was feeling these energetic light codes come into my body, and I felt a crown be placed on my head, and it was all about Yeshua. And I started hearing Christmas carols, and I was raised in a Christian church. And there's so much magic that came from that in terms of my connection through music and my connection through a greater power. There's a lot of trauma and deep healing I did. Shout out to breath work, to reclaim my relationship with God, creator, source, divinity, faith in the unseen. Totally separate from human distortion. That's a whole other episode. However, there is a Christmas carol and it says, love came down at Christmas. And I just started bawling. And I'm even going to choke up right now, but it's like love really did come down at Christmas this year because something else that was going on. There's all of these Yeshua codes. Yeshua, Christ consciousness. I have another episode all about Christ consciousness. If you want to listen to it, you can just search for it in the queue. Um, there is deep Yeshua coding that was first planted on Earth 2,000 years ago when Yeshua incarnated, that's being resurged right here, right now. And this is what, we're moving from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. And 2,000 years ago, Yeshua incarnated. And now, 2,000 years after that, it's a new wave of that frequency hitting our planet of prophecy, of magic, of miracles, of healing. And it's coming to each of us energetically through an upgrade in our bodies. And there's something important going on in the astrology, of course. We had the new moon in Sagittarius. We had a new moon, we had the solstice, and then there's something going on that has never happened before. Three-Eye Atlas, which is a brand new, I don't know what you would call it, like a comet, but it's a celestial presence that got the closest it would ever get to Earth during this time, and it's bringing new intelligence to our cells, to our DNA. It's bringing new energy. So I just sat there in meditation, sobbing, feeling the most unconditional love in my body I've ever felt in my life, feeling the presence of Yeshua bigger than I have ever in my life. Divine white light, like my vision was going out. And part of this is being a shaman. Part of it is like when you fast, like people used to say they would fasting is about going without. You're going without. Why? Because you want to be closer to create or you want to be closer to yourself. It's a very spiritual, reflective inner practice. I actually had somebody in my life tell me, they're like, well, I was worried about you during your fast. And, you know, it's a very interesting thing. People think worry is a love language. It's actually, you actually harm other people's auras when you worry about them because you're sending negative energy. But this is what most people operate in the world with. Um, so I was just so deep in this Yeshua activation. And I was just crying and I just started singing Christmas carols. And where I'm at right now, I have access to an incredibly beautiful luxury elite grand piano every single day. And I went and played Christmas. I was singing Christmas carols, you know, and just feeling the presence of Yeshua. The Yeshua brought unconditional love to our planet. And I believe, and I don't even believe, I know that that happened in every single bone of my body. And if you are here to lead New Earth, Yeshua is a big part of that coding. And if you are here for New Earth, you're here to make miracles. You're here to perform miracles. Yeshua said, even greater miracles than these will be performed, and it's supposed to be by you and me, babe, because this is the new wave of prophecy. And I'm not here sitting and saying like I'm a prophet. What I am saying is that I'm a divine, spiritual, royal, amazing leader and soul, and I'm here to achieve my divine royal status and serve in midwifing a better world. And I like Christmas. Love is coming down at Christmas this year. Love is coming down at Christmas. And Christmas is all about like Yeshua literally incarnated is a miracle. His soul came into a womb without sex. That's a God-given miracle. Okay? Miracles are real. There's things that happen all the time in my life that most people do not have the capacity to receive or know about. This is why I create the conditions for such in my mentorship that it's got to be circuitry. What does circuitry mean? It means that the person that's in mentorship with me has the ability and the fortitude and the capacity to receive the codes that I'm giving. Most people short circuit. This comes out as them being triggered, them being activated, them having emotional responses. It's like most people I've realized cannot receive my energy. They short circuit. So I'm very selective and it's very like it's application only. It's a high level of investment in terms of time, in terms of money, because it's all about a frequency of like objects have literally moved in my life. I didn't move them. No one else moved them on our plane. It got moved by an angel. It got moved by spirit. It got moved by a guide. This whole thing is a hologram. I've gotten so deep into Dr. Joe Dispenza lately. Like, if you want to make miracles, stop focusing on shifting matter with matter and start focusing on shifting the field and calling in and commanding a new reality through the energetic quantum field. Okay? But this, I was just sobbing because, like, so many of those Christmas carols for me, to me this year, and you don't need to celebrate Christmas for this podcast to land. It's all about Yeshua, Yeshua the prophet, Yeshua the Messiah. And when I say Messiah, I recently learned in my study of Kabbalah that Messiah just means Christ consciousness. It just means reaching this elevated state of consciousness. It's not about being saved. You actually don't want to be saved. You want to become the person you came here to become. Nobody wants to be saved, actually. That saving thing is just victim consciousness. It's just your ego. It's just fear. You don't want to be saved. You don't want someone to come rescue you. You want to take responsibility for your life, change your life, earn your blessings, and become the person you came here to be. That's what everyone's deep desire is, truly. I'm crying, listening, like playing these Christmas carols, and it's like a holy light is coming through my body, and it's coming through like I just have a whole new relationship with Yeshua now and this holiday now. I'm like, this has nothing to do with religion. This is worshiping an ascended master. This whole week is about an ascended master. Now, what is an ascended master? You may be wondering. People talk about this all the time. An ascended master is someone who comes to earth and they do such amazing elite powerful things in their human life that they reveal so much light and they change the face of humanity so much that when they get to the upper worlds, they become an ascended master, and that means they're like a spirit guide for everyone. Um, for the whole collective. Yeshua is a guide for you and for me. Now, he might be a different level of guide depending on people's personal relationship. And by the way, you can't just booty call guides. That's called being a taker. That's called dark forces. So if you're someone, and most people do that and they don't even realize they're doing it. So if you do this, it's not about shame, it's about up leveling. If you're someone who only prays when things are wrong, or if you're someone who only communicates with your guides and your ascended masters when you want something fixed, when you want something changed, when you're upset, when you're in fear, when you're in lack, then you are booty calling the divine. And that's straight up extraction. That is straight up dark forces moving through you without you realizing it. You've got to build a relationship with the divine. And so I'm in prayer with Yeshua every single day. So no wonder when I went into this deep fast, he showed up really, really loud and clear for me. Plus, I asked for it. I asked for it. Um, it's so funny that I said that. As I said that, someone's calling my phone. I wonder if it's Yeshua. I'm just gonna let it ring in the background. Um, So the ascended masters are these souls. Other ascended masters are like Martin Luther King is an ascended master. Mary Magdalene, Isis, Joan of Arc, um, Kuan Yin, Mother Mary, which is different than Mary Magdalene, right? Mother Mary, she's the one who gave birth to Yeshua. And then all of these, they have deep history and lineage in the mystery schools, in Magi Mastery, which we're going to get into. However, the Ascended Masters, it's this group of extremely elite, powerful souls who created so much light on this planet that they, in the upper worlds, are energetically here to guide us, to help us with our dreams, with our manifestations, with our goals, with our healing, and traversing this thing we call life, aka Earth School, aka the human experience. So, what's happening specifically on our planet now, 2025, 2026, but specifically the end of 2025 and going into 2026, is that 2000 years ago, when they incarnated, they put grids of this light on our planet. And what's happening right now is these frequency grids are being activated purposely by Yeshua, purposely by Mary Magdalene, purposely by Mother Mary, for us to be activated into our paths that are similar to theirs. I believe in every bone of my body. This is why my movement's called New Earth Elite, because it's elite to rise above, to transcend. Elite means better. It means you do better. You rise above. You rise above the chaos. You rise above the fear. You rise above the distortions of this world. And here's something that I want to share about that. It's about transcending while at the same time descending into your body more than you ever have. Right? It's not about dissociation. A lot of people think, "Oh, I'm going to transcend. I'm going to leave my physical body." No, you incarnated on earth to have a human experience right here right now. The more you transcend the chaos, the more you drop deeper into your body and your body's technology. This is why the food you eat matters so much. This is why nutrition matters so much. This is why you could not pay me to eat a Hershey's chocolate bar because it will sabotage my third eye for probably a month. People don't realize that. Every single person on this earth is psychic. Most people are just so deeply medicated and poisoned and dissociated from their own holy fortress and technology of their bodies that they have no access to their spiritual gifts. And pile on a bunch of trauma to that, yeah, it's a non-starter. So there's a frequency in the grid, in the ley lines on the earth, that is being activated right now. It's being activated in you, me, all of us. You have got to be doing your part to show up to this activation and code it into your body. If you want to go deeper into that, work with me one-on-one, apply for one-on-one looks. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Breathwork, I have a ton of on-demand breathwork classes. The link to that is in the show notes. I also have a free morning activation that if you listen to it every single day, your whole reality will shift if you act on what you get. That's the thing is like most people get a lot of things through their intuition that they're meant to do that would take them to their destiny and their goals really, really fast. And then they just don't do them because they're scared or distracted or both. And it's like, it's actually very, very simple and easy. You just get information and you implement it immediately. Um, it's a skill. If you're not in command of your nervous system, it's impossible. So all the links to all of that magic are in the show notes. What I want you to know is that the Yeshuah frequency coming down, literally being showered down through the crown chakras of all of us right now is immense. It's fated, it's kismet, it's destiny, and you've got to be available for it and receive it, or else you will miss it. So, love is really coming down this Christmas. Like it really is. I've never felt so much bliss and unconditional love in my body, like literally just crying tears of joy for no reason. Just bliss, just pure white, holy light bliss all day, every day. Like I'm just so grateful, and I want this for you too as a listener, and it's available for you when you tune in. So, a few things I want to share in terms of I got the download Yeshuah Royal Magis and Angel Coding. I was originally going to put Christmas in the title and I was like that I just don't feel like I want Christmas in the title. Um because it's so charged. But Royal Magi's, I got that and then I Googled it and I was like, "Oh, duh. That's what people call the wise man." Wise man. I didn't even know that, but something I want to share first, though, about Yeshua that's important for you in your path is Yeshua was so hated he was murdered. And he was literally spreading love and healing and bliss and freedom. And it went against the status quo. It went against the church. It went against all of these oppressive forces that were profiting off people's pain, profiting off their life force, extracting their life force, literally harvesting their energy, right? And the church didn't like it, so they killed him, right? So here's what I want to say. If you are on your soul path, you will have haters. You will have people that don't understand. If most people agree with you, you are not on your soul mission, my friend. You're playing small, aka not playing at all. So that's what I really, that's another Yeshua code that's coming through really, really strong. There's a whole new level of being misunderstood that you've got to be okay with moving forward. And I got okay with that in so many different ways in 2025. I was canceled by a member of my own family. Like like literally they ghosted me for months. Um and I've been canceled online. I've been had, who does she think she is? Blah, 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 blah. Everybody thinks I'm fucking crazy. And you know what I think when that happens? I'm like, green light, green light, green light. I'm shifting consciousness. I will not submit. I refuse to participate in the bullshit. And Jesus flipped tables for sure. Yeshua, Jesus, same thing. Why? Because it was straight up dark forces that were pretending they were the light, masquerading as the light. This is why I had such a deep process with anger when I lived on Maui, because there were so many charlatans saying they believed in light and new earth and not living it. And it made me so mad. And I think this is why I feel so connected to Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, is because I know they went through this stuff too. And I might do a whole podcast about anger and sacred rage. Let me know if you want to hear that. You can message me on Instagram or email me. My email is in the show notes, by the way. You can always email me. The response time, I might not, it might be me or my team, depending on, but I do read things and I love hearing from you and I love receiving how this is impacting you, right? Because I'm here to serve. This is my offering to the collective. So please email me if you want that. Um, Yeshua was hated so much by the establishment and the status quo that he got killed. I mean, even think about someone like Martin Luther King. He got killed because he was shifting consciousness. Think about Charlie Kirk. He got killed because he was shifting consciousness. Am I saying you're going to be killed? No. Am I saying you're going to deeply, deeply offend most people because you refuse to participate in the bullshit darkness and choose relentless light and love and abundance and freedom? Yes. If you're not ruffling feathers, you're not leading. Full stop. So that's a huge Yeshua code. Now, there's also angelic coding coming down right now. And people say to me all the time, I get this reflection, and it just, to me, it's a green light of like, okay, I'm living my soul purpose. People call me an earth angel all the time, or an energetic angel, or like, you're my angel, or like, literally, and that's my job. That's my soul mission. Like, I am an angel. My teacher, David Guillaume, I've been studying Kabbalah with him for a year now. I've been to 4 of his events. I'm absolutely unhinged, obsessed with it because it fucking works. Okay? If you want to learn energetic law of how the universe works and get everything you want faster, more magically than you ever thought possible, study Kabbalah, man. And don't study it from just anybody. Study it with David. And I'm not saying, you might not resonate with him. However, I've seen a lot of people teach it, and the way he teaches it just lands. So, you decide for yourself, go explore his work. He literally is connected with angelic lineage. Like, I've seen it above his head on calls and in person, and you can see it oozing out of his pores. He's an angel. He's an earth angel. He's connected to Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Michael, like lineage. I've seen it. So it's like we are connected to these angels. We're connected to angels we know, and we're connected to angels we don't know. Like, literally, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of angels around us, protecting us, guiding us, asking us. Like, the thing about angels and guides is you've got to give them permission to help you, especially your ancestors. This isn't about ancestors though. Ancestors are a whole different thing, because some ancestors go to the other side and they're not healed and they're up to no good. They're up to fucking mayhem. And if you let them in your life, they'll cause chaos, like for real. So this is where energetic mastery and discernment really comes in. You've got to know how to communicate with the other side. If you want more on that, I highly recommend my master class and breathwork, The Veil. I will put the link to that in the show notes if you want to go deeper into that transmission. But there's angel coding. You know, the Bible or the Zohar or the Torah, like all of these ancient texts, they hold keys and codes for that they hold the ancient codes. We've just got to get past the bullshit human distortion that is associated with them to mine the gold, to get the gems, right? All of these angels, talked about in the Bible, like these angels playing their harps. It's like I was listening to In the Bleak Midwinter, and I was singing In the Bleak Midwinter on the solstice. It was just a very, very holy um activation. By the way, if you feel called to start singing because it's going to activate your throat chakra, it's going to activate healing, it's going to heal and open your heart field, which is your creation field, your creation source. And it says angels may have gathered there. And I just started crying because I saw this vision through my third eye, and all I saw was thousands and thousands and thousands of angels with harps, just like playing their harps when Yeshua incarnated. And I know that that happened. It did happen. I fucking know, and you know, listening to this. Here's the thing. You've got to focus on this belief and this knowing more than anything. It's a radical act to live from the knowing. It's a radical act to live like a maverick. It's a radical act to trust magic. And we do. Angels may have gathered there. They did fucking gather there. They gathered there. And they gather with you, with me, with all of us every single day. Are you paying attention? Did you know that you're here to be an earth angel? And so you've got to really, 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 when I talk about angel coding, your body's being coded with angelic frequencies. Are you receiving the codes? Your DNA is changing. Are you paying attention to it? Your cells are changing. The food you need in your body's changing. Your nutrition and your hydration has got to be on point. Your energetic hygiene has got to be on point. Okay, we're returning to the light body. It's got to be your spiritual mastery, like your intuition, your third eye, like we're going into a time where people are going to need to eat less, sleep less. It's really about, yeah, it's just, I'm just hearing again and again, return to the light body. So, especially if you're someone who has any extra weight on your body, it's really important for you to get your health in elite shape because otherwise you will not be a conduit for these codes. And I don't care how amazing you are so far. If your health is not on point, if you are overweight, if you have dis-ease, your gifts are blocked because that means energy is blocked and you can heal it naturally, and I've done it with dozens and dozens of clients. So, if you want more on that, apply for one-on-one mentorship. This is like so important. There's a light, there's a holy light. It's an angelic frequency where you are being reunited and connected with a whole universe of angels here to help you and also become an earth angel. And it's not going to happen on accident. It's not just going to happen. You've got to choose it. You've got to claim it. You've got to command it. And you've got to become the location for it to arrive. I had this whole download about, are you the location for the manifestation? Everybody wants the manifestation, but have you created the conditions in your body, in your vessel, in your aura, in your spirit, so that it can arrive? Everybody and their mom wants their soulmate, right? However, do you have space in your bed for your soulmate? Do you have energetic space? Are you still talking to that person that's a maybe? It's like all of this, literally the only real thing is energy. And action is also energy, right? Okay. Angels definitely gathered there, and there's an angelic coding happening at the moment that you're listening to this podcast. The question is, are you receiving it? You got to get quiet. You got to get your body on point. You've got to become an energetic Jedi. Okay. The Royal Magis. The Royal Magis. I feel very connected to them because I'm an astrologer. And the royal magi's are also known as the three wise men. There was probably more than three, and there's men and women for sure, because that's just how the cookie crumbles, right? The way things are written, or let me rephrase that. That is how the cookie has crumbled until now. However, there's very powerful people in the Bible like Sarah, like I don't know why the name Sarah's coming through, and Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary, like incredibly powerful women, right? The church painted them in certain ways because they were scared of how powerful they were. Because, by the way, the masculine can't even exist without the feminine. Um, they were these very extremely wealthy astrologers that used astrology to locate Yeshua. You know, we three kings of Orient are. Traveled star. I can't remember the lyrics to that carol. Um, they came and they were very wealthy. And there's really important lessons from the royal magi's. First, the elite in the ancient times were the magical, were the mystical, were the sages. They were advisors. They advised kings and queens and rulers on energy, on signs, and how to decode omens so they could make powerful decisions in alignment with the divine. It was a time of really, really deep reverence of the divine, whether it was in a tribe on in North America, whether it was in, whether it was in ancient Egypt in the temples, whether it was in Palestine, in where the Jewish heritage, whether it was in Scotland and Ireland with the Celtic. It's like there was a time, and we're returning to this with New Earth, where the connection to the divine, which was also connected to Mother Earth, was the most important thing. And rulers used oracles and advisors to make their decisions. And that's what the royal magi's are. That's why I take my job as an astrologer, as a new earth. I am a mentor to unicorns. I am an advisor to the new earth elite. Okay, through shamanism, through astrology, through breathwork, through all of these things, right? I call myself a life magician. Why? Because I'm very, when we talk about guides, I have a lot of Merlin energy, but I am a magician. Like I am a magician. I feel like I'm like lifting the veil a bit on just how magical I am. I might do a whole episode about my ayahuasca experience in 2025 because I think it's powerful. But I literally just sent an email to my email list, which, by the way, if you're not on that yet, you're missing out. You're missing out on a lot of downloads. And I send love letters to my email list several times per week. I send special things to them. Like today, I sent a special bundle. It's called the Energy Fusion Bundle, where it's like a combination of my Sagittarius, Capricorn, solstice, and astrology like classes, because it all is helping people connect into the current energy. Like you are missing out if you are not on my email list yet. So, I mean, the best way to do it is just get my morning activation, because you're going to receive that for free as a complimentary gift. And then you also simultaneously subscribe to my newsletter. So, um, they're these wealthy magical advisors, and they came they used astrology to find Yeshua, and they traveled a long time guided by the stars. And the message is first, we've got to be incredibly wealthy and resourced for the journey ahead for New Earth. If I there's such a deep programming about money and wealth, especially with spiritual people. They're like allergic to profit. They think having a ton of money is bad. Like, I move through all of this. And if that's you and you get activated by me talking about wealth, go to my episode about how I went from bankruptcy to being a multimillionaire advisor in 5 months. Okay. Money, it's just money. Even if the worst happened, even if you lost it all, you can just make it back. Why? If you're tapped into the ancient codes. Now, if you're someone who grips to the matrix, then it would actually be a big deal for you. Because if you're only operating in the physical, it's going to take a long time. It's going to be a lot of pain and suffering, and you're never, ever, ever going to access your potential. That stuff only happens when you're in the quantum, when you're in the magic. When you're operating with creator's economy can literally give you $5 bajillion in 1 nanosecond. So it's important to be wealthy. Being wealthy is important for your spiritual path. If you're not focused on wealth and money, you you really don't care about your path yet because you've got to be able to bankroll doing what's right. We have a long path ahead of us. And just like the royal magi's going to the star to locate Yeshua, it's like we're being guided by the stars to the miracles, right? And they came with gold and frankincense. I recently started using frankincense for my own personal practices, and it's been so deeply healing because it's the most expensive oil. And I wanted to, because I'm like, I'm worthy of the most expensive oil. I am spiritual royalty. And you've got to worship yourself like that, not because, like, oh, like ego stuff. It's like, I am God source energy. I'm here to be worshiped. If I don't treat myself as God, like you're worshiping the divine when you worship yourself and you adorn your temple and like it's frankincense and myrrh and they brought all of these things to Yeshua, but these people had supernatural powers. This is what I mean by being an energetic Jedi. This is what mean by when I say energetic mastery. It is truly your responsibility to become supernatural, to no longer operate in the physical world. Your job is to learn how to grab the future, pull it toward you with precision, according to energetic law, being a master of manifestation, using the technology of your body, using astrology. Like, is everyone supposed to be an advisor? No. Honestly, I would say unconditioned projectors are the people that are meant to be advisors. I don't think that's always the case. I think people in their deepest alignment and joy and magic and mastery can be advisors. However, like you've got to be the advisor for you, right? So if you're here to be New Earth Elite, if you're here to lead, you've got to focus on wealth. You've got to focus on astrology. You've got to focus on your supernatural powers. Okay. And these are because this is how you're going to bring everything you dream of into the 3D. Like I'm telling you, people ask me all the time, well, how did you do A, B, C, D, E? How did you do this? And I'm like, honestly, I'm a fucking energetic Jedi. Like I've mastered this skill set. And it's not about being like I know everything. No, I don't know everything. There's a lot of things I do not know. In fact, I've never been in more uncertainty in my life than right now, but that's where the magic happens. What most people are scared of, you've got to run toward with delight and reverence as like this is actually the only place my dreams can happen. You feel me? So, the royal magi's, they took a really long journey. They were well resourced. They were extremely wealthy. They followed the guidance of the stars and they were led to miracles, right? So, this is just you've gotta adopt that mindset and that whole orientation to life if you are going to lead New Earth, if you're going to be part of birthing a better world. And I'm going to have an episode coming soon about the 2026 astrology. If you really want to go deep into how it's impacting you, apply for one-on-one mentorship. Like that is where you will actually get deep, deep, deep guidance on that. Um, it's just a holy, holy time. And these energies, Yeshuah codes and the angelic coding and the royal magi coding, it's like you've got to become supernatural. You've got to get beyond this physical reality and tap into the magic that is destined for you. And here's the thing, the prophecy only comes true for those who make moves. I'm going to say that again. The prophecy only comes true for those who make moves. Everybody and their mom is talking about how we're living in fated times, right? Rare is the soul who actually claims that fate. Fate is not passive, it is claimed. You've got to go. It's not even about taking the road less traveled. We are building a new road, a new world. And creator's giving us brick by brick. It's like we step, and right before we're about to fall, creator puts the brick under our foot, right? That's what we're doing right now. And this level of quantum precision mastery is required for your destiny. So that's today's episode. I'm so grateful that I got to share it with you. And would love to hear your reflections on Yeshua, maybe anything that's coming up for you, maybe some healing around religion and this time of year. It's like if you really knew that this was actually just a great time of worship for an ascended master, like would you have more holiday joy? Would you have more magic? Like I was on a call the other day and people are like, I'm overwhelmed. And I'm like, why are we overwhelmed? Like there's overflow of magic. It's literally the most wonderful time of the year. Like it's so magical. And you've got to just change your lens. There's so much magic. There's angelic frequencies. There's the royal magis. It's just like, wow. And it has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with you and your personal relationship to creator, you and you choosing to self-actualize in this lifetime, and all of the miracles and destiny and dreams that you will create when you do that. So I love you so much. I'm sending you so many blessings and would love to hear from you how this episode landed for you. Share this with a friend or two or three if that's just an easy way to give back to the podcast and share the word. And if you are feeling the call to one-on-one mentorship, the link to apply is in the show notes. I love you so much. I believe in a better world. Go out there, be the change, be the light, the holy Yeshua, angelic light. Make a stranger smile. And I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrienne.